Hi, welcome back to my kitchen. Today I'm turning 25. I'm a mom of one, and I wanted to bring you along on the dinner I'm making to feed a crowd. I invited some of my favorite people to celebrate together, and I'm making sourdough bread bowls with fresh milled whole wheat flour. Fresh milled flour is having a little bit of a popular moment online. A lot of people are talking about it, at least in the circles I run in, which is great news because that's actually how I learned about fresh milled flour. I love to cook from scratch, and I have loved it ever since I started homemaking about 3 years ago. I started literally at square one. I didn't know anything, and now I am making sourdough with fresh milled flour, learning everything I can from other YouTube videos, gaining inspiration. I want to start sharing online too, the things that I'm learning, the things that I'm trying, the mistakes that I make. In this video, you're going to see me try to make sourdough bread bowls for the first time, and I do it 3 separate times. They all turned out, but let me just say the third time turned out a lot better than the first time. I don't want to just show you the things that go really well, but I want to show you the things that I learn along the way and the things that fail. I am by no means a great cook. I am learning every single day something new. I like to think of homemaking as building blocks, and I learn one thing, and that lets me build on that skill and learn something else. So today is a culmination of a few years of building blocks. First, I learned sourdough, then I incorporated fresh milled whole wheat flour, and now I can do sourdough bread bowls. This might be my new favorite thing to feed a crowd. So like I said, this is my 25th birthday, and I invited some of my favorite people to gather together and celebrate. And instead of them bringing a gift, I asked them to bring something that they could share with everybody who is in attendance. It could be a talent, like a song that they sang, or poetry that they shared, or a side dish that they really like making, or flowers that we could all enjoy. So alongside these bread bowls and these 2 soups that I made, we were enjoying so many other favorite things. I don't know if you can tell what soups I'm making, but I am making zuppa toscana, which is my favorite Italian soup, with sausage. Sometimes I do ground sausage. Today I'm doing link sausage. It has lots of garlic, sauteed onion, potatoes, kale, some cream. It's a really bright, delicious soup. I'm also making chili tonight, which is so good in a bread bowl, especially with cheese on top. I made this chili with a few variations. Mainly, I do have a 10-pound bucket of 16 beans, which I don't know if you know what 16 beans are. I barely know what it is, but apparently it's a specific combination of beans that's pretty popular to be sold together. Instead of having to buy each individual bean separately, you can buy all 16 different kinds of beans together. So that's what I did. I bought a 10-pound pail of them. So instead of putting kidney beans in here, I cooked my beans from dry and then added them to the chili. First of all, cooking beans from dry is much more economical. I didn't really know that because a can of beans at the store is not that expensive. But one of my goals as a homemaker who is on a budget is to be very cognizant of how much money we're spending in the kitchen. I care so deeply about the food that I'm eating and the agriculture or the farmers or the industry that we're supporting with our money. And I can't forget that we're on a budget, but I also want to allocate my dollars in the most meaningful way that I can. So cooking beans from dry is a good example of something small that will add up over time. As I put the final touches on this party, and my friends are coming together to celebrate, As I'm cutting into these bread bowls and smelling the delicious soup, I'm reminded that this is what homemaking is about. It's about gathering people together and enjoying each other's company. I think the heart of the home and the heart of the homemaker matters a lot more than what is on the table. And I hope as I continue learning new techniques and new foods that I keep that at the forefront, celebrating each other and welcoming others in.